Black Box with Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!
Listen, gratitude is the attitude. Show is a blessing. To be back in the Black Box. Black Box.
Relax, roll up as we randomly react to content in these YouTube streets. It's time for R&R.
Sniper Net Hustle. Big shout out to my SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the Black Box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
7 C's and 3 G's all at one time. There's 10 to it. Hey, that's crazy how this continues to happen. This dude made it all the way to fame and squandered it without me being aware of his existence. But it seemed like all y'all know, but Cash Out got sentenced. We're gonna let Byron Blake kind of catch us up to date on what he went through, and then we're gonna see him actually speak at his sentencing. With no further ado, let's see what Cash Out from the ATL, the rapper, has been up to.
Atlanta rapper Cash Out. Yeah, that Cash Out, the one we all know. 36 O's and ride around with that Nina. Yeah, man. It's crazy because I was actually locked up when this guy's career started. It looked promising. I was one of those people, I was sitting back watching this like, man, I wished I could be in that position. We around the same age. It was just like, man, it was surreal watching that come up and that rise, and to be where we at today with it is even crazier. So let's get to the reason that we here. Atlanta rapper Cash Out was just sentenced to life plus 70 years in the Georgia Department of Corrections.
Well, I'll be damned.
From my understanding and what I'm seeing, he was sentenced to life on a rape count and 70 years on the racketeering charges and the other charges. Now, he is being accused of using his record label to lure women into prostitution. So I'm assuming that he
Sounded kind of Diddy-ish, R. Kelly-ish.
is giving these young ladies the impression that he gonna sign them, they gonna be down with this label, they gonna get around these executives, and kind of like the Cassie and Diddy situation. But this case represents the large dynamic that exists in these types of situations. Whereas Diddy is being accused of all of these different things, and he's instead being, he's being found not guilty on most counts, but he's facing a maximum of 10 years on prostitution charges. Whereas this dude just got 7
I thought it was a maximum of 20, 10 apiece on 2 different accounts. I could be wrong.
years for luring women into prostitution. Of course, it's different because he was actually found guilty on the racketeering charges too, which leads me to my next point. His mother was also involved in this, allegedly luring these girls into this record label situation and then prostituting them out. She was sentenced to 30 years. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because this case represents how one move can destroy a whole family. His mother was sentenced to 30 years. His cousin was also sentenced to life plus 70 years, I believe. So you got these 3 different people who are family, but all have their own separate families and branches. I don't know.
And ain't nobody dead or died. They gave that dude all that time. D now. I'm a mom. Sheesh, it's a game of years. It's a state or federal RICO. Atlanta loved throwing that state RICO around, huh? This wasn't as high profile as Young Thug. They probably was able to cut some corners and work railroad this nigga.
If he got kids, but I'm sure his mother probably got other kids, and I'm sure his cousin got kids, and if not, he got a mother and sisters and brothers and people who may depend on him in their lifetime. All of this stems from imagery. I got these hoes, I got the women, and it's cool when you indulging in that lifestyle. I'm not gonna victim shame or blame here. And he made a statement saying that these women were lying on him. If that's true, I hope it comes out. But even if they aren't lying and they willingly participated in this lifestyle, you have to be aware of the consequences and how things can play out in somebody else's favor just because of who you are. It could cost you your life. It's crazy to imagine getting life plus 70 years and being innocent, but people die from being in the wrong place at the wrong time all the time. So even if you
Oh, he got it right. I kind of missed that. I think I heard the word, but then when he got to adding up all that time and talking about the trafficking and all that, I forgot they did say he had rape. I want to know, that word is used kind of loosely. I wonder the actual scenario of that rape. Man,
got lied on, it's still some action that you took that put you in this situation. And that's the lesson that I want people to learn from this. Don't just say, oh, you shouldn't do this, it'll send you to jail. Actually look at the steps that were taken and learn from his mistakes. This is a huge fall from grace. Even though his career as an artist probably been over for some years now, he still had the allure, the imagery. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to get other people to believe that they could be successful by signing to his label. That in itself is still enough leverage for you to be able to generate some kind of income. Sometimes people get greedy, but again, I'm not going to victim shame or blame, but I'll be lying to y'all if I said that I ain't feel sorry for this dude and his mama getting life plus 70. His mama.
yeah, shout out to all the victims, but I haven't heard about any of the details of what they suffered. So right now, the coldest victim in this situation, from what I can actually see, is him, his mom and his cousin getting all that time from this system. Damn, another one bites the dust.
Get 30 and nobody died. I got to keep it real. I do believe that we got to protect the women, the children, all of that. But a life sentence where nobody was murdered is crazy. I'm going to have to look into the details of this case. This is going to be a case that I'm going to follow.
That's crazy. He thinking just like me.
And, just try to see how it plays out as far as appeals go. Looking over the evidence. This is going to be a case that I'm going to dive into because I want to see what's really to this. This dude don't really strike me as the type to rape somebody, but you never know what these people will do behind closed doors or if they get the right kind of drugs in their system. A lot of people do drugs and you never know what's going through a person's mind when they full of it, So I just wanted to bring y'all this. This is a crazy moment for hip hop. This is probably like back in the 90s, late 80s, Big Lurch and them, all of them catching them murders, killing their people. This probably like impactful like that.
Boy, the details about that Big Lurch thing was so gory and bloody. I don't know if it quite had the shock value of that situation.
Because Cash Out was a big thing 10, 12 years ago during that 2012 era where a lot of music was hidden. A lot of people that are stars now made their debut around that time. That's around the same time that Future came out. And look at how different the dynamics are in the careers. One is a superstar and the other one going to prison for life plus 70 years. And that Cash Out song was big. That Cash Out song was probably bigger than Future's song that he had out around that time. I don't know, that Racks on Racks was around that time. And Magic, those was both too, don't quote me on that because Future my boy. But life plus 70 years, man, it's crazy. They got more time than R. Kelly. And finna get more time than Diddy. And we actually saw Diddy on camera beating a woman, dragging her back to the room, even though that's not what he was on trial for. It's just
He ain't got no Diddy dollars, no Diddy dough.
the point that we've actually seen it. It's crazy. Life is crazy, man. But yeah, Cash Out, life plus 70. I'm going to dig back into this. Like I say, I'm going to double back and dig into this case. I'm going to follow this case, man. I want to see how this play out. Hit that like button. Let me know what you think about this video. Leave me a comment. I know y'all probably going to go crazy. Listen, I don't be minding y'all either. If y'all want to get in here and talk crazy in the comments, I'm all for it. I ask y'all for y'all opinion. You don't gotta. I'm not one of those people where you just gotta agree with me just because you want to comment. You can comment and not agree with me at all. I'm cool with that.
Shout out brother Byron Blake for that take. Now, that's crazy to get caught up with your mama like that in this type of scenario. Nothing could be worth it, but I at least hope they was touching some big bread. And yeah, he spoke at his sentencing. And this is what he said.
Good morning, today, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I want to start out by thanking you for giving us a fair trial. I want to thank the jurors for the amount of time that they put in to judge this trial. This time being on this trial, I was able to see how the jurors are put in a tough position to sit there and judge someone's life, and, it's a hard decision, and I felt like they made the wrong judgment. I've done things in my life. I'm not perfect, but the things I've been accused of, I know that I haven't done those things. I know it's typical for a person to come up here and, show remorse to, crimes that they have done, but I can only show remorse to the people that I know that was in this trial, which is Kiara Adams, Deanna Sanders, and Jasmine Brown. Not remorse on behalf of like I did anything to them, because if you know me, and people who really know me know that I wouldn't force anybody to do anything. I met women, I dated women who were doing escort or whatever, however people want to look at it from a moral standpoint, but who was doing these things as a grown woman. I've only dealt with grown women. Nothing was forced. Nothing was coerced or anything of that nature. If you notice, before this trial, no woman can say anything about me before this trial. If you notice, before this indictment, no woman can say anything about me before this indictment. I get the situations that people are put in when they're faced with a certain type of crime or a certain type of time, and they're bullied into this situation to put the blame on someone, or to put the blame on Cash Out, or to put the blame on someone who's at the top. That's why I didn't really fault them for their decision. I didn't fault Deanna Sanders for making her decision during a proffer. She just had a child. Mind you, she was just on video call with me while being incarcerated. I don't fault Kiera Adams for doing the things she did with her proffer, because mind you, she was facing a certain amount of time handling her probation in different cases that she's on. I don't fault people for making accusations, because I'm a man that typically let women leave on their own behalf. Never held them in prison or held them in slavery or said, you can't leave me, or you can't do this. Every woman you've seen come on this stand showed you that they left and came back willingly on their own. What I mean by that, they left on their own and they came back willingly on their own. During this trial, I was able to see, how valuable life is and how valuable the people that you hang around, or the people that you even date, or the people that you even know, how valuable it is to judge their character. Sometimes I let people stay around who I knew was going to affect a situation that I had going on. So I don't, and for the people who came to this trial that I never met a day in my life, never had any contact with them, never had a text message with them, never had an interaction with them, don't even know where most of these stories came from, it's baffling. Never forced a woman to commit a sexual act. I've been traveling all around the world from here to Dubai, and you would never hear a woman say that I forced them to do anything sexual or commit a rape with anybody. I don't hang around people that do things of that nature. I feel like, and somebody asked me this the other day, it was like, every time I see your head high and you are always smiling, because when you have that confidence, it takes me back to the Bible. When you have that confidence and you can be falsely accused of things. Jesus was falsely accused. A lot of the prophets were falsely accused. You don't have that emotion like you've done something. So if you see me with my head high, or if you see me smiling, it's because I know at the end of the day, through Jesus Christ, the Most High will always give you the actual judgment. So I really thank you for providing us a fair trial. Just me getting to know you during trial, I was like, she's just the judge. But when you sit 12 people in that panel and you have them, judge our lives and, put them in a position to judge our lives, it takes you back to, once again, the Bible, when people had to judge these prophets' lives. And I say, if you know me, you actually know me. There's plenty of people that know me in this world. There's plenty of people that know me in this jail. There's plenty of people that know me where I'm from. Like I say, once again, I'm not perfect. I come from certain areas. I come from, certain environments. I come from doing things in my past life before the music. But I'm here to tell you that if you sat in this trial and you paid attention to this trial, before these dates, no woman could ever say, I done those things to them. Before these dates, you can go on my Instagram and see these women enjoying themselves, having their own things, living their own life. Before these dates, I can say you had these women that never had anything to say about me. Before this indictment, before the RICO, you had these women actually talking to me while I was incarcerated. I've been incarcerated for 4 years, and these women are interacting with me. These women who took the stand and supposedly scared of me, or monsters, or I'm a monster, or took these proffers. This wasn't the case before they was indicted. So from my perspective, I feel like some people can get bullied into a situation that they really don't really want to do. And I'm sitting here just holding my head high and just, feeling that one day the truth will come out. One day the truth will come out on my situation. One day the truth will come out on this rape allegation, that these things never happened. And when you see a person get up on that stand and put their hand on the Bible, and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That means you have to be perfect, like you're Jesus. You have to be perfect on that stand. You can't show a flaw. And that's a tough one. It's a tough one for me because I had flaws in my life. So you have to tell the complete truth on that stand. And I got up there and see people put their hand on that Bible and not tell the complete truth. And that's baffling. But at the end of the day, I put my trust in the Most High. I put my trust in the universe to bring out the truth. To bring out the truth of these people who made these allegations. To me, it's like you have no heart. You have no heart. And I know people want me to stay in line or walk a toe, but when you speaking something truthfully and you speaking from the heart and you know that this is not your character, something must be said. And I just wanted to address the court and give my perspective on the things that I felt during this trial and the judgment that I felt that the jurors gave us was not the correct judgment. And it will show.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Matthews.
Your Honor, thank you for allowing Mr. Gibson to speak to this honorable court.
This is my Don declaration, define expectations, inspired to aspire to higher elevation. Started at Genesis, read the entire Revelation, dedication, meditation, and some fire medication. Judge a prophet and a poet, both body reputation, fanatically practice. Perfection requires preparation. I go hard, like this could be the last chance. Romance the spotlight, treat it like the last dance. May I remind inclined to go overboard over mine. But tonight I'm on this open mic with an open mind. Always try, let it fly, ain't care where it fell. Never say goodbye, but we'll tell her farewell. You ain't heard, I ain't word, I ain't scared. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I ain't word, I ain't scared, you ain't heard. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. And just so y'all know for sure that I'm serious, y'all can put this right before the period. She slid the digits, I hit her with a digi-card. She came to visit, hit it hard by the mini bar. I made her roar like the engine in my Hemi car. Way before she came to listen to my seminar. Every time I'm done, she always want more. Keep a contour in her back for the encore. I paint a picture like we was playing Pictionary with perfect diction. I take you through the dictionary, y'all can have an introduction and an intermission. They finna listen for it's finished, just a benediction. You ain't heard, I ain't word, I ain't scared. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I ain't word, I ain't scared, you ain't heard. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I used to tell my testimony to the whole church. Now I stepped into the cipher once I soul search. Visualize the pain I'm bearing when it's verbalized. No more rehearsal, now you're staring in my herbal eyes. Turned them on, they all turned around, returned to lies. Despise this truth that I eternally internalized. I hate her, laugh now, cry later. Why hate a player when I'm just getting my paper? Your dialogue, that's a lot of lies to digest. Until I die, I guess I'ma have to digress. Chase the pay like she the one that got away. Remy shot a day, that's all I really gotta say. You ain't heard, I ain't word, I ain't scared. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word. I ain't word, I ain't scared, you ain't heard. Been through some ups and downs, now I got the last word. Finna clown, now I got the last word. How that sound? Now I got the last word.
Hey, good Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
My nigga Spider Low. Spider Low, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What the fuck?
My nigga.
Spider Low. Spider Low.
Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nate Blood, C-Mac. Shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Nate Blood on Hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, Craig.
Point blank, do no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done train my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
You are now in the black box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang.
Let's go!